Hello everyone. Continuing with our series on small forms, I'm always very excited to find small forms from Tesuque Pueblo, located just outside of Santa Fe. It's one of the Tiwa-speaking pueblos that include Tesuque, Nambe, San Juan, San Ildefonso, Santa Clara, among the group of pueblos known as the Northern Pueblos. By the early part of the 20th century, pottery making at Tesuque Pueblo had been reduced to little figures called rain gods that the collectors on the East Coast were interested in, and Santa Fe art dealers were anxious to have the Tesuque potters concentrate on and make. But earlier, 1890s to 1900, Tesuque Pueblo was making other types of small forms too, perhaps for the art market. Small forms easy to transport for travelers in the early days before packing materials made packing larger forms easier as they are today. And these three examples are particularly lovely. Now, perhaps they were made for the art market, but at least two of them show signs of ethnographic wear. So perhaps they were offered to the art market. Perhaps they weren't sold immediately, taken to the Pueblo and then used. They survive today because eventually they were bought from Tesuque families and entered the art market. So one example is a lovely pitcher. So it's a little bit larger than the others, as you can see. This very classic fret-like element. I'm not sure really how to describe it. Decorated on the handles, lots of handling of this particular piece evident on the handle itself. Fire clouds, which arise from the fuel and the natural outdoor burning process adhering to the pot, creating a burn or a bruise, something very valued and considered beautiful by the Pueblo peoples and valued by historic pottery collectors today. This deep red band is something more indicative of the 1890s than later. It's a beautiful, beautiful example of a pitcher from Tesuque. The middle piece, more of a cup. It has a handle. It has some pretty fun, interesting, funky birds flying around the handled cup. The designs you'll be able to see more clearly by clicking on the photo on the website. This cup may have been made it's a little hard maybe to see this particular indented rim, but it looks like a lid was intended. But I think the lid was never made and attached to this cup because there's no sign of wear, or at least very little sign of wear along the rim. But you can see the decorations are everywhere. They're on the inside. They're at the tip of the rim. Double framing lines. Rain symbols, birds, and slipped all the way to the bottom with glorious fire clouds. A lovely, lovely example of turn of the century Tesuque pottery, maybe going back as far as the 1890s. And then somewhere in between these two forms, a more typical small jar form. It's got a red rim at the top, and then just a plethora of what looks like a cloud and rain design. So three lovely small forms from Tesuque Pueblo, 1890s to 1910.